All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeft TV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to Texas Motor Speedway. This is TurnLeft TV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League King of the Ovals Series. The Texas Motor Speedway tonight in the Indycars. It's race number 4 of this 14-race series. Who's going to be able to take home the victory here at Texas? This is the Indycars tonight. It's going to be live right here. Who's got what it takes to be crowned King of the Ovals? Well, it's high speed and a lot of action here tonight on TurnLeft TV. It's the Indycars and the High Octane Racing League King of the Oval Series. All right, hey, thank you so much for joining us here on TurnLeft TV. Right now, we are in the practice session. Thanks so much for coming in and joining us on TurnLeft TV. We got a good one here for you tonight. A little IndyCar action. Tonight's race brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server, 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. That's EliteHostingUSA.com. Also, WordPress hosting and online store hosting if you want your website hosted or your online store. Our website here at HighOctaneRacing.net is hosted through Elite Hosting. Also, our servers. And don't forget to join us on Discord. Good quick link to Discord there. You want to see who's doing what throughout the week, and then also what the series standings are. You can come on out and join us at HighOctaneRacing.net. And this is race number 4 of the season, Texas Motor Speedway. We had a little bit of a trouble with the another mod, IndyCar mod, so we switched over to the NTT 2020 mod to get this race in. So we had a little bit of a trials and tribulations last week, but we're ready here this week, I believe. Got things worked out. We'll probably just stay with this mod the rest of the season rather than dealing with the older version of the official mod. Texas is a lot of fun, 1.5-mile track, a lot of speed, good for IndyCars. Again, thanks for joining us here on TurnLeft TV. Peace to everybody out there in sim racing land. And then don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you're here. You can share my videos with all your friends and any social media platform where you can share YouTube videos. You're more than welcome to share mine here at TurnLeft TV. Man, we got a lot of racing, big weekend here. I'm actually going to be racing tomorrow in the GT3 Series, High Octane Racing League, Sunday afternoon GT3 Series. They'll be at Malaysia, and that's a fun track, it really is. So excited about that. Get my butt kicked in the Ferrari. No excuses, right? Other than those guys are just better than I am. How about that? But hey, thanks for coming in. Please hit that thumbs up button. Peace to everybody. And we got a good one here for you at Texas. This is high speed, the Indycars, and it's race number 4 of the King of the Ovals Series season. Let's take a look at the track here at Texas. Banking in turns 1 and 2. You see it's one of those tri-ovals, quad oval if you will. 20 degrees of banking 1 and 2, 24 degrees in 3 and 4. And it's high speed. Not too bad, not really a difficult track, I think. And even in the IndyCars, it's pretty easy to get off the track on the pit lane. So I think the biggest problems are going to be when the tires start to wear out. And also racing in traffic, too, in the IndyCars. So you got to be careful there. That's a great track, Texas Motor Speedway. Speaking of the GT3 series, there you go. Tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Practice starts at 1. We'll be racing at Malaysia. 45-minute race. It's race number 3 of the season, and this is a fun track, man. So a lot of room to race here, pretty technical track, and it's a fun one. So come on out and join us in High Octane Racing League. There's the QR code there on the left side if you want to join us on our Discord. Always looking for new racers. We do a lot of stock cars, we do Indy cars, we do GT3s. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. That's what separates us really from a lot of other leagues. Our willingness to try just about anything. Looks like these guys are getting ready to go to the qualification session. We got a great big race, a very special race coming up on Friday, September the 16th. It's the Steve Freeze Memorial 250. We're going to be at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it's actually race number 5 of the Bushwhackers series season, that Friday night series. A great series, and I would expect to see probably 20-25 drivers out for this. We're going to have some prizes also that we give away, and as we did last year, we got a button box, we got some Steam gift cards, and some sim racing gloves also on the agenda. All to honor our friend Steve Freeze, who passed away in 2011. High Octane Racing League, one of the really the heart and soul of High Octane Racing League, that's for sure. These guys are in the qualification session now. We see Christian Wilson coming out to make his qualification attempt. Ray Hall Letterman Lanigan Racing sponsor machine. Ricardo Almeida, I would suspect you is going to be probably 1 or 2 after quals are finished. Christian Wilson with 25.070 in that first lap, getting out early. Almeida coming out here, and he just put down a 23.582, so he's top on the grid in that 21 car. John Stanley, let's see if he can kick into this or climb up the grid, so to speak. Right now, 5th car to come out. So there you go. John Stanley, 5th on the grid. See what he can do here on this second lap. 24.169. I guess these guys are only doing 2 timed laps here, so I kind of think I'm setting on that. Should be 4, but nonetheless, that's all right. They get some qualifications in. Givaldo Spindola, he's already been in the chat session. Look at this, Givaldo in there, wishing us good luck. And, good luck to him as we watch him qualify. 23.424 is the top time, and that's Givaldo. He came out here early, got some laps in, and he might like these Indycars. So looking solid there for Givaldo with a 23.241, and he's the top time. Claudio Bardelli Jr. with his lap. So Jesus Iglesias now to the top of the grid, 23.241. I guess that was Givaldo's second. Bardelli Jr., let's see what he throws down. .490 for Claudio Bardelli Jr., 4th on the grid. Got those tires warmed up. Let's see what lap 2 is for Bardelli Jr. Oh, he gets into the grass a little bit, but 23.313 is lap number 2, and that's currently 2nd on the grid. Here we go, Ricardo Almeida saving the best for last, question mark? MJ Almeida in here in the chat session as well, cheering on her husband. Well, Ricardo loves these Indy cars. Doesn't really race our stock cars with us too often, unless we do it sometime during the day on a Saturday. Fast in that second segment. There you go, to the top of the grid, 23.285. I just quit right there. Everybody's qualified, so there you go. We got the pole position. He's going to do another one, maybe get some a better time here. There you go, 173 on lap on the qualification lap number 2. Good lap there for the 22 of Ricardo Almeida. Hey, let's take a look at my keys to the race here tonight. That is race this track. This is not a tough track, really, especially in the IndyCars, as much grip as they have. It's a little tougher, I think, in the stock cars when the car starts to get a little bit loose on you. But nonetheless, you need to race this track and pick your spots on where you want to make some passes. Make good pit stops. Not difficult, really, in my opinion, to get off the track, to get on the pit lane and get down to a safe speed. And lastly, save your tires there. Be smart on when you really start to push those tires. You want some strong tires late in the runs, and I think we're going to have long green flag runs and probably some green flag pit stops here tonight. This is a 100-lap race, going to go by pretty quickly, but nonetheless, those are my keys to the race here tonight. And peace to everybody out there. Thanks for coming in here and joining us on TurnLeft TV. And again, finally getting this race in here at Texas. We'll take a look at the Steve Freeze Memorial 250, 167 laps from Charlotte coming up on Friday. And this is going to be a huge race for us. We do this every year around this time. Last year we did it at Michigan. Normally we do it at Michigan. It's been raced other places, but we're going to switch up the gears a little bit and give the shot at doing a little bit of Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Steve Freeze Memorial 250. Let's take a look at the point standings coming into tonight. Paul Brown, the top, and not here tonight. He's got a prior obligation. John Stanley sits second in points. Bardelli Jr. third. Preston Hassel fourth. Will Dunbar is fifth in points. Dennis Udich in sixth. Jesus Iglesias seventh in points. Franco Alvarez is eighth. Gavin Jones is technically ninth, and Jim Willis is 10th. We got to fix that. So qualifications technically over. Right now these guys are going through the driver's meeting. We got a little bit before we kick it over to warm up. Got that GT3 race coming up tomorrow. All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at the qualification results. So Ricardo Almeida will start in P1. Not a big surprise there, to be honest with you. Jesus Iglesias is always tough in these Indy cars. He qualifies outside row 1. Claudio Bardelli Jr. inside row 2. Givaldo Spindola out there on the outside in that 14 car. Jair Leveda starts in the 5th position. That's inside row 3. Preston Hassel starts in 6th. Preston is adminning our race here tonight, so we definitely appreciate his work. Ed Palumbo will start in the 7th position. And John Stanley outside row 4. Christian Wilson will start in 9th in that 30 car. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got my pick in for tonight. It is right there. That's an easy pick to make, really. Ricardo does a great job in the IndyCars, and he seems to sort of be in that class by himself with respect to that. I know even when we had the IndyCar series going on that Sunday or that Saturday afternoon, and we had a lot of drivers from overseas and so forth, a lot of drivers from around the world. Ricardo got that championship, so he's got this thing figured out. So I think here in Texas, no big deal, easy track. Does give a lot of the other guys, I think, a chance to really give him a run for his money. But I think that's an easy pick to make. So Ricardo Almeida is my pick here to win this race tonight at Texas. We'll take a look at the schedule here in the King of the Ovals series. What we do is we alternate mods. So this week we're in the IndyCars at Texas, and next week we will be at California in the stock cars. Week after that, on September the 24th, we'll stay at California and we'll be in the IndyCars. So we are alternating mods. So the gray will be the IndyCar or stock cars, and the red is the IndyCars. So that's how we're doing this season. It's a little bit of a difference, a little switch it up. Got some guys who are IndyCar fans, other guys are stock car fans, other guys, they'll race either one. Nonetheless, we want to see who the best oval driver is in the two premier oval series types of cars. It's another guy here, Jair Oliveira, that we really got to think about when you're thinking about driving IndyCars. This guy can flat out make it happen in IndyCars. He's a great IndyCar driver. Not too bad at those stock cars either, so he can pretty much get in and drive just about anything. And I think this guy is in play here for a victory tonight. So keep your eye on that 21, Jair Oliveira. So just under 3 minutes left to go in the warm-up session. Again, we'll take a look at the track here at Texas Motor Speedway. 20 degrees of banking in turns 1 and 2. A little bit different, 3 and 4, 24 degrees of banking. I think similar to Charlotte. I mean, this track is a smooth Charlotte. And I think coming off of turn 4, if you're carrying too much speed, you're really going to have a problem, I think, maybe getting into the wall. So you got to be very careful as you come off turn 4 on that exit. Keep from getting into the wall. As you are going through that quad oval area. Need a better DJ, don't I? Go get Uvaldo Spindler, getting a few laps in. So we got just over a minute left in the warm-up session. All right, looks like warm-up's over. I think we're ready to go. Little Texas Motor Speedway here in the Indycars tonight. King of the Ovals Series, race number 4.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
All right, here we go. Time to rock and roll, boys and girls. We've already been rocking and rolling, haven't we? Take a look at the starting order here. Starting order here tonight is Ricardo Almeida starts in P1. Jesus Iglesias starts second. Claudio Bardelli Jr. will start in the third position. Uvaldo Spindler starts in fourth. Starting in fifth is Jair Oliveira. Preston Hassel starts sixth at Palumbo seventh. And John Stanley starts in the eighth position. Starting in ninth will be Christian Wilson in the 30 car. So again, 100 laps here tonight. And again, it's the King of the Ovals Series, race number 4. This is Texas Indycar version. And this is going to be high speed and a lot of fun. Makes me wish I was out of the broadcast booth down there and scrapping it up with these guys. All right, pace car going off the track. Here we go. IndyCars here in the King of the Ovals Series, race number 4.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Almeida out to the lead, as we expected. Claudio Bardelli Jr. is running in the second position. He and Jesus Iglesias having a good little battle. Iglesias running in third. Looks like Jair Oliveira's in this mix too. Jesus running in P3, just behind Claudio Bardelli Jr. You look at the back of this car, wherever that is. There you go. JJ trying to get by. JJ looking on that low side, wants to try to get around. Might see these tires get a little bit used up, and maybe the cars get a little loose late in the run. That second pack here, Givaldo Spindola and Preston Hassel duking it out right now in 5th and 6th. Right now, Givaldo running in the 5th position. Preston Hassel running in 6th. Palumbo saying there might be a gearing problem right now in his car, this 7th position machine. Something's going on with Ed Palumbo's car. Something wrong with the gear. Reporting that to his crew. That is something that can't be fixed there, that's for sure. Christian Wilson running in the 8th position. John Stanley back there just kind of hanging out. Not sure what's going on, whether he just fell out of the draft but didn't get a good start or whatever. But he's running in the 9th position. Maybe he's on tire safe mode. These guys are duking it out up front. Ricardo Almeida not making this a runaway. As Bardelli Jr., he's got some quite a bit of IndyCar experience as well. I'm surprised we didn't see Arthur Vieira out here tonight. He's got a considerable amount of IndyCar experience. Jesus Iglesias, Jair Oliveira, 3 and 4. Iglesias trying to close the distance on these guys. Looking out of the back of Ricardo Almeida's machine, see Claudio Bardelli Jr., Jesus Iglesias, 2 and 3. With a little bit of room back there to Jair Oliveira. JJ here running in P4, just biding his time. I say if anybody who's got IndyCar experience, you're looking at Ricardo, of course, a considerable amount. JJ really has raced a lot of IndyCars too. Those guys do that over at NASCAR BR pretty routinely. His favorite track is Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Look at that, just ahead. These guys starting to get a little racy here as Iglesias peeking around on the high side. Sort of settled down now, so we got a 4-car breakaway. Preston Hassel working here on the outside line. Looks like he's battling Givaldo Spindola, and he gets around, so Preston Hassel up to the 5th position. As Spindola there touching the apron just a little bit. Down back to P7. John Stanley making some moves here. He's closing in on Christian Wilson. So good partnership here, maybe in the back to try to work their way up to Ed Palumbo, who's running in P7. Spindola got back by Preston Hassel. I'll tell you what, these guys scrapping up in the 6th or 5th and 6th positions. Givaldo down to the inside, and he's going to get around Ed Palumbo. So good battle there between the two of these guys. Running in P5, P6. And Palumbo wants to see that action there as this guy's going side by side again and out of the front of his machine. Looking up there through that windscreen. Safety bar, that I'm not even sure what they call that. They keep the debris from flying into the driver's face. These guys just keep duking it out here. Preston Hassel up on the outside. Givaldo Spindola down on the inside. Great battle here. These guys battling the stock cars. Now they're battling in Indy cars. Givaldo regaining that spot now, back up to 5th as Press is back to 6th. Almeida and Bardelli Jr., 1-2. Jesus Iglesias kind of falling off a little bit. Bardelli Jr.'s got, like I said, he's got quite a bit of Indycar experience too. As we look out of the back of Ricardo Almeida's machine. Well, Almeida not able to run away as the 9 car keeping him honest here. Bardelli Jr. races just about anything and everything. All kinds of different race sims, different mods. Likes to stream, one of his hobbies. He's a samba music or musician, I should say. Quite the musician. Type form of music, kind of new to me. I sort of a Brazilian / African feel to it, so somewhat unique to the Brazilian culture. Iglesias and Jair Oliveira tightening it up here. Oliveira to the high side as Iglesias in that red and black car down on that inside line. Preston Hassel diving back down to the inside. He wants to get around Givaldo. No, that's Givaldo down to the inside. Preston Hassel up on the outside, so Givaldo regaining that spot. So these guys keep swapping positions. Great racing here, but tell you what, nose to tail would be better for them. Look at this. Jair Oliveira goes down to the inside. He's wanting to get around Jesus Iglesias. I'll tell you, JJ, a great IndyCar driver. Lean pass there. These guys just need to be nose to tail and try to close in on that front crew. These guys up front have it figured out. Don't swap positions. Just do nose to tail. We'll run away from these guys. Let them race it out. And that's what's happening here. Maybe making this a 2-man race. Speaking of duking it out, Preston Hassel going back down to the bottom side here, leaving Givaldo Spindle up on the high side, so Preston Hassel regaining the 5th spot. Long green flag run here, 22 laps in. Take a look at John Stanley and Christian Wilson. They're running at 8th and 9th. Now about 15 or 13 seconds off the pace. Lap times here about 33 or excuse me, about 23 seconds or so. So kind of get an idea of where they are. 10 seconds of going a lap down. Ricardo Almeida cruising around here right now. Nothing to worry about other than maybe a little bit of Claudio Bardelli Jr. I'll be thinking that maybe pit stops might stretch this out a little bit. Oh, Bardelli Jr. touches the apron. Oh, got to be really careful about that. Get that car off kilter and get it into the wall. This crew here working together. They're just 3.7 seconds behind. Here we see 5 and 6. Here's P7, and he's getting closed in on, that was Ed Palumbo as he went by, but those back two, 8th and 9th, closing in on it here. We'll take a look at John Stanley's. He's looking ahead at Ed Palumbo, so these guys running down. Ed Palumbo, who said he has a gearing problem. And he might be hoping for some short runs. Caution flags to get him caught back up, and maybe some short runs. Because over the long run, that gearing issue is going to cause that car to get hotter as well. Webb Palumbo running in 7th, and he has P8 and P9 closing in. Here we're looking at Jesus Iglesias following Jair Almeida. Jesus running in the 4th position. Nose to tail here. Look at this. Christian Wilson and John Stanley going down to the bottom side. Zeb Palumbo up on the high side. He's going to fall back to the 9th position as 7th and 8th get by. Might help Ed Palumbo out just a little bit. He can stay with these guys. I would stay in that draft as much as I could. That's going to help him out. These three could if they stay nose to tail, they could probably get back up there with the front pack. Or at least catch the 2 guys in front of them. They got some work to do for that, but about 7-second gap maybe. Guys are about 15 seconds down, but 9.5 seconds down is that next crew. So if they just work together, stay nose to tail, guys around too much, they should be all right. Maybe close in, get a little pack of 3. So we got a bunch of 2s. 1 and 2. 3 and 4 are Almeida, Iglesias. 5 and 6, Spindola and Hassel. And then a triplet there, 7th, 8th, and 9th now working together. We're spread out. No events yet to report. 32 laps in. We've got to be thinking we're going to be seeing some green flag pit stops here pretty soon. Keep in mind, those tires are going to be used up, and that's when some drama can unfold. Again, these guys just keep messing with each other, trying to figure out who wants to lead and who wants to follow. I'd be content just to let, say, keep it as it is. If I were Preston, I would just say, hey, I'm going to follow him for a while and let him lead. Palumbo is indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. I think John Stanley indicating he might be coming down pit lane here pretty soon too. So Ed Palumbo running in the 9th position. Just as those guys might have been catching him a little bit. Now they decide to pit. Whoa! I tell you what was that? Looked like Christian Wilson might have got off track. Or was that John Stanley? Oh, no, there you go. We're going live. We're going live here. Sorry, we were a little bit delayed, and Bardelli Jr. is leading, and we've got somebody who spun around. Take a look. This might be John Stanley. John Stanley comes around as they come off the track. Oh, my heavens, man. John Stanley had some trouble getting onto pit lane. Take a look out in front of Christian Wilson's machine. Look at that right there. Had Johnny on the spot getting by. And those brakes are glowing on that John Stanley machine. So some drama coming into pit lane. John Stanley gets that car cattywampus. Look at this on board again. Right here. You see those brakes glowing as Christian Wilson did his good job of keeping out of the side of John Stanley. Claudio Bardelli Jr. on pit lane. Ricardo Almeida's finished up his pit stop, I believe. Bardelli Jr. is on pit lane. Actually, it looks like Jair Almeida now on pit lane. John Stanley on pit lane. He had a lot of trouble. Look at Ricardo Almeida. Pretty flawless on and off pit lane. Take a look at our side-by-side. For some reason, not getting the old message here. Whatever we got there, we don't have a message from the other computer. That's a little bit too bad. Now we got a huge pack here as those guys go a lap down. The front two trying to get through. Actually, Almeida trying to get through. It looks like Margelli Jr. has fallen back about 2 seconds to P2. Now back to the second position as Almeida's in traffic, and this is going to help his cause. If he can keep these guys pretty sane behind him and not race him too hard, just do nose to tail, then these guys are going to benefit. To some extent, they're going to benefit. They're going to run a race away from the other guys and have the potential, maybe, maybe lap on those guys. We're starting to see Preston Hassel. He's running 15 seconds back now. He's running in the 4th position. So this is spread out the field a little bit. Jesus Iglesias is running in 10th. John Stanley finally coming back on to the track. He is 5 laps down after that green flag pit stop. No lucky dog here in the Indycar series. Can get a wave around, but lap cars, well, actually restarts are single file, so it makes it even harder to gain a position. Take a look at Ed Palumbo. He's running in the 6th position, 1 lap down. Just ahead of him is Givaldo Spindola running in P5. Waldo moving around a lot, so is Ed. He got right there and touched the grass. And Ricardo Almeida's got to be a little nervous here, I would think. Thinking, hey, maybe a lap down car might end up taking me out here, so I got to be really careful. Givaldo looked like he wants to try to get back on the lead lap the hard way, the old-fashioned way, and Almeida's not having anything of it, this 222 car. But this has got to worry him, these guys dicing around. Givaldo having some trouble here, maybe in a little bit dirty air. Having trouble keeping a hold of this car. He's going back to the outside. Oh, right there. He almost gets into the leader. Almost gets into the leader. There's the 22 car. He says, okay, man, you guys just go on. I think that's what I'd do, actually. If I were Ricardo, I'd just say, hey, you guys go ahead. Pass me low, and I'd go to the high side. Let these guys go, and you will not, I'll tell you what, Givaldo looking on the inside line here, and this has got to make old Ricardo Almeida a little nervous. On board here with Givaldo, as he wants to get around, try to get his lap back. This guy's oscillating a little bit up and down the track. And that was a close one. Jair Oliveira, he's got caught 2 laps down, so he did not have a good pit stop at all. So Givaldo now running in the 8th, JJ now running in the 8th position in that 21 car, and he is 2 laps down. Take a look at Christian Wilson. He's running in P7. A little bit separates he and the 6th place driver. About 8.5 seconds or so. So he's trying to close in on P6. Maybe he can work with Ed Palumbo once he gets up there. We're watching Preston Hassel here running in the 4th spot. He's out about there by himself too. I told you those green flag pit stops would separate these guys. This really jumbled up the field a little bit. I think everybody pretty much was on the lead lap until those pit stops, and now we got some guys Couple laps down, guy 5 laps down, couple guys a lap down. And Ricardo hugging that white line. And if I were Ricardo, I would just go to the high side and let Givaldo and Ed go around. It's not going to slow you down too much. Just kind of run your race. You've got a pretty decent-sized lead here, 4-second lead, but you're risking maybe getting taken out. A guy racing for position or racing to get back on the lead lap. That would worry me, but in the longer term, I think I would certainly let those guys go. I would err on the side of caution or avoiding a caution. How about that? So Givaldo is trying to get Ed Palumbo to help him a little bit. And now Ed Palumbo creeping up into that position. Now we got a little bit of a shake-up there between Ed Palumbo and Givaldo Spindola. Jesus Iglesias has retired his machine, it looks like. Iglesias is off the pace, and he's retired his machine. I don't know what happened to him. But Jesus looked like he might have just come down pit lane, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, he just, he lost his connection. So we've got a, look at this, we've got somebody on pit lane now too, and looks like Christian Wilson was on pit lane. There you go, Christian Wilson coming down pit lane after finishing his pit stop. So Jesus Iglesias is out of the race. Very interesting. Not sure what happened to that car. Maybe he just lost his connection, but he is out. That's going to be another spot for John Stanley. John Stanley right now 5 laps down. Christian Wilson coming back down pit lane. Not sure what happened to Christian, but he came off pit lane, now back on pit lane. Did he miss his pit stall? So unscheduled pit stop for Christian Wilson back on pit lane. My heavens. Now Givaldo's kind of lost this too, so that's worked out in Ed Palumbo's favor. And maybe Ricardo Almeida's as well. So now Givaldo by himself here in P5. We're 59 laps in. We're caution free here in the Indycar. And we kind of suspected that, to be honest with you. Kind of suspected we'd have these really long green flag runs, and this is not a difficult track in the IndyCar. Guys get spread out a little bit. We got 9 drivers tonight, so a little bit lighter on the field than what we usually have. As Ed Palumbo runs in just behind the front runner. Look at this, Ed Palumbo diving down to the inside. He did not want to get taken out there, and that was Christian Wilson having come back out on the track after making a pit stop. Ed Palumbo running just behind the race leader, but he is 4th in position, and this is helping him. The guy he needs to catch is P3, and that is Preston Hassel. Looking at about 7 seconds or so, I believe, separating the two of them. Yeah, about 17 seconds, I take that back. 17.7 seconds separate Preston Hassel from the 4th place car of Ed Palumbo. Claudio Bardelli Jr. running in the 2nd position. A little help for him. Looking out of the back, you see John Stanley, who was on pit lane for a while. Remember, he had that little kind of a hiccup there coming onto pit lane, got the car sideways. Unfortunately, did not bring out the caution flag, but now finds himself 5 laps down. Bardelli Jr. running in the second position. Those guys go by. Looks like Christian Wilson let those guys go. It's been all Ricardo Almeida here tonight, except for about the first, maybe 10, 15 laps where Claudio Bardelli Jr. was running with him, but that ended up sorting itself out, and Almeida now working with the lap car, Ed Palumbo, to try to close in, get around some of this lap traffic. And you see Preston Hassel running in third, so now we're going to have a race for position just behind our race leader. So P3, P4, now side by side. And Ed Palumbo running in the third position, getting by Preston Hassel, putting him down to P4. Take a look at Givaldo Spindola here running in the fifth position. He's got a group of cars here coming up behind him. Got a pack of 4 now. Preston Hassel coming down pit lane. Well, I think Preston Hassel's making a pit stop here as those guys go by. Oh, Preston Hassel spinning that car. No caution flag. No caution. He spun it, but there wasn't a caution flag, so something happened to Preston Hassel as he came off the track to get that thing onto pit lane. Oh, my heavens, man. Let's see what happened here. Maybe that's why he was letting those guys go. Preston Hassel making a pit stop, and he comes off pit lane. Downshifts right there. He downshifts and loses the back end of that car. Probably has a little front end damage now. Oh, my heavens. No caution flag because it spun on pit lane. You did watch this here. He's trying to get this car wound up, and he downshifts right here. And then breaks that car loose. And then the car gets into the inside wall. My heavens, Preston Hassel. And now he finds himself coming back down pit lane, it looks like. Ricardo Almeida. He's finished up his pit stop as we were watching that replay. So Almeida has finished up his pit stop. He had a clean pit stop. Now coming back out on track. We'll see this pit sequence here. Ricardo Almeida. So Almeida has finished up his pit stop. He is now back to the lead. Take a look at Claudio Bardelli Jr. running in the second position. We got some guys having to make that second pit stop, having trouble. Ed Palumbo indicating that he may have a situation where the crew did not put enough fuel in that car, and he may have to pit again. So when it rains, it pours here for our third place car, Ed Palumbo. Oh, my heavens. Christian Wilson now jumping up to that 7th position as John Stanley 5 laps down. Christian Wilson's had some trouble, and he's now 4 laps down. Ricardo Almeida here has a 6-second lead over Claudio Bardelli Jr. Bardelli Jr., we'll see him. He's running in with a tandem here, and that could help him out. So you see Ed Palumbo running behind him, but Ed Palumbo is saying he doesn't have enough fuel to make it to the end. Well, Ed Palumbo running in the 3rd position, 1 lap down, indicating he is the crew did not get all of the fuel in the car. Whatever's going on there, he is going to have to pit again. Best he can hope for right now is a caution flag, not to lose more positions, because when he makes a pit stop, he's going to lose some positions. There's no doubt, and we're running out of time here. Again, this race been green flag from start to finish here so far. I mean, start to 80 laps in, I should say. Rustin Hassel back on pit lane, taking service. And that spin coming onto pit lane did not trigger his pit crew. Now he has to come in and get a pit stop in. So he's had some bad luck. He's lost a position as Christian Wilson just keeps plugging away. And Ed Palumbo making his pit stop now. Ed Palumbo says that he couldn't make it, and I'm going to make a pit stop. We can't get our side-by-side view working on that deal, so that's a little troublesome. Too bad there. Always something, isn't it? Jair Oliveira now in the 4th position as Ed Palumbo making that pit stop to get that car full of fuel. Almeida has a 6.7 second lead over P2, Claudio Bardelli Jr. Givaldo Spindola running in the 3rd position, so Givaldo really, he's the only car just 1 lap down. And he's got as long as he can make it another 16 laps, 17 laps, he's got a good, solid top 3 finish here. And that's good for him. Good for that points battle. Now, wouldn't that be a big deal, though, if Givaldo won the King of the Oval Series? That would be just absolutely fantastic. Givaldo, one of our, really, I'd say, mental attitude award winners, man. This guy comes in with a positive attitude, doesn't say much, always accepts responsibility if, he, causes a caution flag or, he's very kind and letting guys go that are faster than him, and also being patient and trying to get around guys that may be a little bit slower and, that he needs to pass. To move to the front. So, he just exemplifies all those things that you want other drivers to model, and that is a positive attitude. And he is running in P3 right now, so good night here for Givaldo. JJ here running in the 4th position. I'll tell you what, I go way back with JJ, been racing with him for a long time. Raced all the way back at Alta Velocidad, and we raced at some stock car events like Happy Hour Racing League, got him sort of involved over there. Even had him going to MSRL one time, and they wouldn't let him race for whatever reason, so we just both left. So he said, never again am I going to make that mistake. But then we had IndyCar Total, NASCAR Brazil, of course NASCAR BR as well. We'll race with JJ a lot of places here. He's got a good solid top 4 going. And Palumbo, talking about going back a long way. And Palumbo's been with HORL since the mid-2000s. Now 2005-ish, somewhere around there, maybe 2006. He's been with HORL a long time. He is running in the 5th position. He'll come back down pit lane to get some fuel in that car. John Stanley, we take a look at that. John Stanley running in the 8th spot. He just keeps plugging away. Probably didn't think he was going to be able to gain a position, but somebody got out of the race. So he is 5 laps down right now. He had trouble early on in that first pit stop. He got himself behind the 8 ball. And I think he had to even come back down pit lane to pit that car again. So that's where we find him 5 laps down. But nonetheless, he's got a chance to close it in on Preston Hassel, who is in the 7th position. And he's also 5 laps down. Christian Wilson also. So we got 3 cars 5 laps down. Preston Hassel going to let Claudio Bardelli Jr. P2 go. Bardelli Jr.'s got an 8-second gap before he gets up to P1, so he's going to need some help. He's running out of time, that's for sure. And so Ricardo Almeida now finds himself in traffic, however, so this could be a game changer. Christian Wilson coming down pit lane here late in this race, and he's going to take a splash of fuel. He needs a splash and go on this one. Maybe get some tires on there, but I wouldn't be in there very long, that's for sure. And Ricardo Almeida having a little battle here with this lap car, trying to figure out which way he's going to go. I don't think I'd be pushing it at this point. That's Givaldo running in the 3rd position, and Ricardo going to the high side. Givaldo running in P3, trying to just stay 1 lap down. I just let him go at this point. Almeida keeping it interesting here. Probably wants to get some racing in. So I think he's signaling to Ricardo Almeida to go ahead and pass, but Ricardo not doing it. Ricardo down to the inside, now has that preferred position, and I think Givaldo is going to give him a lot of room right there. And he does, so that was a wait by. Good sportsmanship there from Givaldo. It's going to help Givaldo out if he just plugs away and stays behind. He's going to be able to run away from Jair Oliveira or any hope of JJ being able to run him down here on lap 97. We're looking at 3 to go when we cross the line. Well, Ricardo Almeida had a little battle with Claudio Bardelli Jr. for a while, but about halfway through that first fuel run, things changed, and Ricardo Almeida jumped to the top and ran away with it. He is 3 laps away, 2.5 laps away from a race victory here in the King of the Oval Series. John Stanley gaining the spot there as Christian Wilson came down pit lane. So now Stanley's up to the 7th position. As Christian Wilson now 6 laps down. There's 2 laps to go here for Ricardo Almeida. One lap to go. Givaldo getting around, and Ricardo Almeida letting Givaldo go. Givaldo's going to be able to get another lap in. As Ricardo Almeida in this 22 car, the class of the field today here at Texas, and he gets the win. And a caution free as Ricardo Almeida gets the win here in the King of the Oval Series at Texas. So congratulations to Ricardo, getting a big win in a fun track, easy track, and Ricardo made it look easy. So congratulations to Ricardo Almeida on getting the win. Ricardo burning them down here just to let the guys know who is boss. Well, good win there for Ricardo. Solid job there for him. Good caution-free race. That was awesome. Let's take a look at the final results. As Ricardo Almeida takes the victory, Claudio Bardelli Jr. finishes in second. Giovanni Spindle, a great race there for him, finishes in third. Jair Oliveira fourth. Ed Palumbo finishes in the fifth position. Preston Hassel finishes in sixth. John Stanley seventh. Christian Wilson eighth. Jesus Iglesias finishes in that ninth position. So Ricardo Almeida gets the big win here in the King of the Oval Series. We'll see if we can't get him up in the booth, have a little chat with him. Okay, we're up here joined in the booth with Ricardo Almeida, the big race winner. Congratulations, Ricardo. What a great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, it was very cool. I got some help a couple times, so yeah, that helps.
Well, it looked like you had a little battle with Claudio Bardelli Jr. early on, but as that run transpired, for whatever reason, Claudio wasn't able to hold on to the back end of your car. You just had lap traffic to deal with from that. What was going through your mind there as you tried to, when those last two fuel runs weave through traffic?
Well, I know. Well, I don't know what Claudio can do alone. I know what I can do alone, and if I be alone and he's alone, I think I can pass him. And it's exactly what happened on the pit stops. I have a great out lap, so I passed him. I broke the toe, and I catch some lap cars, and I'll be lucky. They've been pretty fast and pretty clever. They let me through and they follow me. So I got a good run, and the lead extends and it extends and extends every lap. So that was fine for me. So yeah, it's just I have a good communication without words to understand. Follow me. We're gonna have a good pace, and some guys understand. So yeah, it helps.
The key player here tonight, I think, was were guys that had trouble on pit lane. Texas, I think, is pretty easy in the IndyCars if you're in clean air and you get some guys that are not jostling around too much when you're running in a pack. And tonight, that proved that. You had guys racing pretty sanely, if you would say, or pretty calmly, and everybody behaving themselves. But once pit stops started happening, guys were having trouble, spinning out and trying to get the car slowed down before coming onto pit lane. I think that's an important aspect, just to practice that too at any track, so you don't have those problems. How do you address those things?
Well, on the warm-up, if you see my times, I don't have any time. I have a lot of laps, but I don't have any time. Why? Because I practice entry and exit all the 10 minutes long. Only enter, exit, enter, exit. I don't have a single time on the board, but I practice all the 10 minutes entry, exit, all time. So, and every race I do that. So yeah, today it was a good day for me. Works pretty well. I got my Penske crew did an excellent job.
Well, Mrs. Almeida, MJ Almeida's in here. She says, yes, bravo to my Portuguese driver.
Yes. Thank you, lovely wife.
All right. Hey, congratulations. And hopefully you can see we join you or you'll join us in a few weeks when we're back in the Indy cars. You're always welcome in the stock cars as well. And you get a big win here tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're probably going to try to do one NASCAR race since, well, it's come colder and colder. So, yeah, we'll see.
All right, buddy. Be good
All right.
to see you next week.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Hey, it's Ricardo Almeida joining us up here in the booth. So big win for Ricardo,
really
and I picked it, didn't I?
The trouble is, you pull
I think I picked it. And pull myself down to the wrong channel. I picked who was going to win this race tonight, so congratulations to Ricardo. Appreciate you coming out and joining us as well. Well, we got more racing headed your way tomorrow in the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series. That's going to be a lot of fun at Malaysia. They're a very fun track, and we're looking for a good field. Practice starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Race starts at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series, the Sunday Shockwave. Coming up tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you want an rFactor 2 server for your league, or how about hosting your website or your online store, Elite Hosting USA can provide you with a website or a server in your local area, no matter where you are in the world. Well, we got a special event coming up on September the 16th. That's the Steve Freeze Memorial 250. We'll be at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Bushwhacker Series night. Racing will start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we're moving ahead an hour. The start time will be at 8, an hour earlier, to accommodate for the larger number of laps. So 167 laps, 250 miles to honor our friend, our fallen hero, Steve Freeze, somebody who's very, very important in the lives of High Octane Racing League drivers. And we'll have some prizes that we give away to the drivers who are participating with us that night. So that's going to be awesome. Guys who are normal racing here at HORL, they're eligible to get those prizes. That's going to be fantastic for them. Well, next week we will be at Portugal International in the GT3 Series. That is a good track, technical track, and then we have Oulton Park on September 25th. We'll take a look at the Saturday Night Thunder / IndyCar Series schedule. That's the king of the ovals. And next week we'll be at California Speedway for a 90-lap race. So starting off through stock cars and then Indy cars on September the 24th. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. I'm going to say thank you so much for joining us here on Turn Left TV. Peace to everybody out there. Peace and prosperity, and a little bit of sim racing on the side. Thanks for coming in here and joining us tonight. I appreciate that. All those folks who will come out and watch the videos, watch them either live or on record. All the new subscribers, all the faithful that stay out here, I really appreciate it. If you'd like to make a donation to Turn Left TV, there's a little donate button there. You can throw a donation straight through PayPal. And thank you so much for coming in and watching a race tonight. Congratulations to Ricardo Almeida on getting a big win here in the King of the Oval series. So tonight at Texas, he's the King of the Oval. So congratulations to him. That's going to do it for us tonight. I want to say thank you so much for joining us, and I am out of here.